So we are 100 days into Donald Trump's presidency. How are you guys feeling?
They're taking all from us. We should take all from them. They don't care about us. Why do we care about them?
Donald Trump is the last person that should be in office currently.
What's been your favorite thing he's done so far?
Getting these migrants out.
We are 100 days into Donald Trump's presidency, and today we are seeing how fellow Americans are feeling. Over these past 100 days, Donald Trump has signed over 130 executive orders, and a lot of news headlines have been made. Here are some of the most important and controversial things that have happened in these past 100 days. Elon Musk and Donald Trump have started Doge with the goal of trying to get rid of government corruption and get rid of waste here inside the United States. A lot of people are angry as a lot of departments and organizations have lost funding, and some people have even been fired from their jobs here in the United States. Another big thing are tariffs. A tariff war has started across the world, and especially with China, as Donald Trump announced 145% tariff on the country of China. DEI no longer exists in the federal government. They have ended all DEI programs inside of the federal government, and over 100,000 illegal migrants have been deported back to their countries, and some have even been deported into a prison in El Salvador. And a lot of people are worried if due process still exists here in the United States, as a man who was living in Maryland, who was from El Salvador, was deported to El Salvador into a prison because he is identified as an MS-13 gang member. A lot of other things have happened as well, so today we're going to see how fellow Americans are feeling over these past 100 days. Go ahead and give this video a like. Let's get this video to 10,000 likes and subscribe to the channel. And now let's go see how Americans are feeling. Here we go. And what's your favorite thing that's happened since Trump has been in office?
All the deportation of the illegal, all the people that should not be here, all the criminals, all MS-13, all that stuff. Get them out, and he's done that.
How do you feel about these past 100 days of Donald Trump's been in office?
Oh man, I think it's horrible.
Why do you say horrible?
Man, look at all the stuff he's doing, making people lose their job.
Yeah, how do you feel these past 100 days? How do you feel about Donald Trump's presidency?
What has he done? What has he done for me? What has he done for the American people? I don't know how people even put him back in office for a second term, but if they don't get him out here, this economy is going to really drop. I think they need to, I don't know why the Republicans even backing this man.
You hope he gets impeached these next few years?
He should have been. Truthfully, this man should have not been put on the ballot the second time. Anybody that would have done what he's done wouldn't have had a second opportunity to run for office.
And what do you think that says about Americans, as over 77 million did vote for Donald Trump?
Racists are still alive in America.
Okay, so those that did vote for Trump are racist?
The racists are still alive in America.
How do you feel about how the current country is being ran?
He's that tough guy, but he's that damn good guy.
Yeah, so are you happy with what's been happening?
I am, yeah.
And why do you think some of these people are angry, for instance, with Doge cuts and with some of these deportations that are happening? Why do you think so many people are angry?
A lot of those guys are killing people and so forth. I live in California, so I see a lot of that.
Are you happy with how the border's being ran underneath Donald Trump?
Right now it is, yeah. Biden left everything to hell. Kamala left everything to hell. There's people getting killed and so forth. And I think Donald Trump's doing a very good job.
We are 100 days into Donald Trump's presidency. A lot of executive orders have been signed. A few of them have been the DEIs, and he's declared there's only 2 genders here in the United States. How do you guys feel about what's going on here in the United States?
It's terrifying. It's really disheartening.
Not a fan.
And what terrifies you guys most?
I think with specifically the only 2 genders thing, it feels like such an invasion of people's privacy, and also I don't know. It's for a lot of different reasons. I think it feels very totalitarian and invading things that should really be up to an individual.
Are you worried he's going to run for a 3rd term?
Yeah.
I feel great.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than Kamala.
You guys support what Donald Trump's done so far with the DEI, the Doge cuts?
I mean, I don't support
I don't
the
support
tariffs.
everything that he does. There's a lot that he does that I don't support.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rank the current administration with what they've been doing so far?
I'd probably say a 2. He's not doing very
I
well.
was gonna say a 4, maybe 2.
Just because I chose to support him because of other beliefs that I have doesn't mean I support everything he does. There's a lot that he does that I don't agree with.
Okay, and what do you guys think about some of the Doge cuts with them cutting funds from some of these departments? Do you think it's all right for them to go in and find where corruption, where the money's going?
No, I don't think so.
What would be your message to other people about what he's doing right now?
I would say I'm sorry for everybody who's getting hurt from his decisions. Obviously, as an American and someone who did end up voting for him, I'm apologetic. I didn't know this was going to happen. But at the same time, America's a really strong country, and I'm sure we'll get out of it.
We are 100 days into Donald Trump's presidency. A lot of things have happened. Doge cuts. Now it's been declared there's only 2 genders here in the United States. Water pressure is back. Plastic straws are back here in the United States, and the economy and the markets are a little bit down right now. How do you feel Donald Trump has done in his first 100 days in office?
I mean, as the meme goes, this is what I voted for. The people have a very interesting way where they'll remember the one thing they don't like and forget magically the 9 things that went well. The border's closed. Illegal crime is substantially down because illegals are now afraid of being arrested. So you see so many fewer migrants here in the streets of New York because the rule of law is returned. We're seeing punishment for some of these sort of terror-supporting various students that are magically students into their 30s for 10 years at a time. We're seeing the price of energy down substantially because one of the major things Trump ran on is slashing all the regulatory red tape, meaningless EPA regulations, the climate cult. As far as the markets go, the markets are, as I understand them, a reflection of where people believe things may be headed or things may be worth. They're not actualized losses. The tariffs are part of his plan, as will the tax cuts that I expect will be coming soon. But people don't talk about the fact that prices are down, be it eggs or be it fuel, or groceries for that matter, or inflation for that matter. It's just, isn't it amazing that the people who a year ago were saying how the stock market is for horrible fascist capitalist pigs are now extremely worried about the stock market in which they own no stocks? Fascinating. Isn't that fascinating?
People might not know it. You've been here on the channel before. You're a lawyer.
I am.
What did you think about them deporting the man who was living in Maryland, who is an El Salvador citizen, back to El Salvador?
It's really amazing. The 4 people that the Democrats have picked to be their saviors, to be their symbols, are an illegal alien and gang member, are a kid who killed a CEO because he was mad with a gun, which they hate, is a Palestinian or Muslim student for the last 20 years who is supporting Hamas. And the 4th is, oh yes, the black kid who stabbed the white kid in the heart. So it's amazing who they've picked to be their bannermen, the 4 horsemen, I guess. I think that they have incredibly poorly picked what issues to stand up on, and to believe that this particular, their whole thing is, but don't you think you'd be better than her? But this is an exception. But he's a gang member who was a criminal and who's been found to be a gang member. And he's being deported back to the country he's from in the first place.
And remember this guy because we will be coming back to him later in this video. So far, some very mixed opinions here about how Americans are feeling over these past 100 days of Trump's presidency. And if you're watching this video, it's very likely you've seen some of my videos on Shorts, TikToks, Reels, and nowadays, there's never been a better time to discover it on the internet. However, I know it can be hard until now. Meet Opus Clip. They're an all-in-one AI editor that make it easier and do it faster and make your job a whole lot simpler. Using the power of AI, you simply upload a video or copy a YouTube link into the Opus Clip Anything feature, and within minutes, you have tons of edited videos and clips for you to use. With Opus, you can generate B-roll, clean up audio, reframe for any platform, all in one place using the power of AI. And the question is, how good is the content from Opus? I've been using it in the past month to grow a second TikTok account, and I've nearly reached 10,000 followers just using extra clips and videos from Opus. It's seriously so simple. Anybody can use it. I've even had my mom using it. That's how simple it is, right, Mom?
Yes, and if I can do it, you can do it.
If you want to try it for yourself, go to opus.pro/clipanything and start creating content and uploading videos to get discovered by more people. Go to opus.pro/clipanything, give it a try for yourself. And now let's get back into the video asking more Americans how they think these past 100 days have been here in America. We are 100 days into Donald Trump's presidency. How are you guys feeling?
Terrible.
And why do you feel so terrible?
Because he's an idiot.
And what makes Donald Trump an idiot, in your opinion?
He doesn't know about economics. He doesn't know about people, mainly. Poor policies, chaos, division. Should I go on?
Yes, go on. And what's
No,
your least favorite
no,
thing? What's your least favorite thing that he's done since he's taken office for the second term?
His heartless deportations.
And what should happen with all of the 10 to 20 million people that did come across the border?
They should have, that bill that was supposed to be passed when Biden was presidency to strengthen the border, to give money to border, that should have passed, and they should have done it in an organized way.
And are you happy now that the border is closed and it's at record?
No. It's not closed, first of all, and it's just causing all this chaos.
Are you happy that crossing numbers are at decades low, at least?
Well, of course I want legal immigration, but I want it done according to our Constitution and according to our laws.
Yeah, so are you happy now that people just can't come across the border?
Well, people are desperate, and I think you have to have some at least understanding of desperate people.
We are 100 days into Donald Trump's presidency. How are you guys feeling?
Good. Good. He's doing good.
What's been your favorite thing he's done so far?
Getting these migrants out. They're doing a lot of crimes. There's too much crimes. And that open borders with some crazy stuff that Biden did. Like, you was not all in your head when you came and you opened these borders. We never had this before. So you're letting all these criminals in. Now look, all these females are getting like, how you can say that, Kellyanne, when they... No, it's
She said anchor babies. A lot of
anchor
females are getting anchor babies out here.
No, but this is not funny when they take the girls and they sell them for prostitution. A lot of these migrants are doing that. Like they got caught in a whole house in Queens. They just got caught in a club in Colorado. So I really like what Trump is doing. I voted him from day one. I voted about this time around, and I love Trump.
Do you think we would have been better off underneath Kamala Harris as president?
Well, certainly. She's an intelligent woman. I've been married 50 years. I have a lot of faith in intelligent women.
Should Donald Trump be able to tariff China?
Not only should he be able to tariff China, he should be tariffing China. Because why not? They're taking all from us. We should take all from them. They don't care about us. Why do we care about them? Have a good day.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how has Donald Trump done in his first 100 days?
I think that hard question. Donald Trump is the last person that should be in office currently.
Where do you think we would have gone if Kamala Harris was elected?
I think that we would have more inclusivity. I work in the environment, right? So I think that we would not be cutting down the EPA. I think that we would be having more environmental regulation. And I think that our economy wouldn't be where it's at today. So.
And what do you think about them cutting DEI programs?
I think it's terrible. I think it's absolutely terrible. It doesn't matter what you think in terms of, this person should be qualified. You should choose qualifications over a background. Like, it doesn't matter. The point of this is that, the DEI regulations are in place because people are discriminated against. And that's the only reason that the DEI regulations are in place. And so to say that there's no need to have them, I think is really short-sighted.
Right now, the Democratic Party is at all-time lows as far as their approval rating. What would you guys like to see them do different in these next 4 years to gain control once again?
Less compromise, like what they call compromise with the right, which is really just like an inability to stand up to them or a lack of, it feels like very much cowardice to me, and I think it's also because a lot of the Democrats profit off of a lot of the same things, and there's
Would you like to
I
see
think
them
it's cowardly.
move? Would you like to see them move more towards the center,
The left,
or keep continuing to
100%.
the wokeness,
so,
the left?
Like scared of being too progressive, but the reality of the situation is that like people who are going to vote for Trump are going to vote for Trump, and a large part of why like Harris didn't win is because they're not appealing to like the progressive youth and people on the left who feel like even Harris was like way too far right, especially with like Israel and like supporting the military, like huge amounts of a lot of the budget going towards the military. It's like saying we'll have the most lethal military in the world. That's fucking crazy, and I think most progressive youth do not support that.
So you think in order for Democrats to gain control once again, they need to go even more progressive than where
Yes, 100, because they're basically like the overturn window has shifted so far towards the right that like it's just ridiculous. Like the things that are considered radical or progressive are to me pretty reasonable. But
we are 100 days into Trump's presidency. What's your favorite or your least favorite thing that's happened these past 100 days?
I don't have a favorite thing, but I think he's doing a lot of good things. My least favorite thing would be this situation with the guy, I forget his name, that was sent to El Salvador, and he's an American citizen, a Spanish guy. That's scary for the rest of the American people.
And what if I told you that he's actually not a U.S. citizen, he's a citizen of El Salvador? Would you believe me?
I would look it up. Is he?
He is a citizen of El Salvador.
When did all of this come out?
It's been out for a while now.
Oh, okay, so I'm uninformed. Fake news, as Trump says.
So how do you feel about the tariff war that's happening here in the United States?
Well, we'll have to, the last time our country was really strong, we had 25% tariffs, so have to do something. I don't know, that 150% is pretty water out there, but.
And are you happy with what Donald Trump's been doing in his second term?
I am, very much.
And why do you think you're seeing such a rise in opposition, especially with Doge? A lot of people are angry at Elon Musk.
Well, I don't know, they must be afraid of what he's uncovering, right? Saved a lot of money so far.
And if somebody comes in the country illegally without receiving due process, should they be able to be deported without receiving due process going out?
If they can prove they crossed illegally, I'd say yes.
We're 100 days into Trump's presidency. How are you feeling?
Well, probably because I'm like much younger and like it hasn't really started affecting me yet, but I see like as I enter adulthood that these things are going to start to matter. And I've been viewing some of the executive orders and I think they're pretty good. But we have to start, Republicans in Congress need to start like acting and actually putting this into legislation, because another president could easily come in and just reverse everything, just like what he did with Biden's orders. So I think it's time for Congress to start like acting.
Are you worried that when Donald Trump finishes his term, it's just going to go back to how it was?
Yes, but we do have a lot of time because we just started, so.
We are 100 days into Trump's presidency. How are you feeling?
I don't really care about Trump, on lie.
You think he's doing a good job, bad job?
I be half-half. I feel like he say things that need to be said, but the way he say it is like, it's borderline, like, you know, it's offensive.
How do you feel like he's done with the migrant crisis so far with his first 100 days?
It's harsh. The people that came over here from gangs and stuff like that, I feel like they need to go back where they came from. I think once they opened them floodgates, that was when all the issues started. Now, like I say, we had issues already. But once they opened the floodgates, it was like, all right, well, we got gang wars, we got gang leaders, we got stuff like that. So all that shit got to go back out. We already got enough of that here. We don't need it from another country. Plus, they play by different rules. They chop people up. Not to be like biased or nothing, but like they play by a different set of rules. Yeah, we shoot each other, we stab each other. They chopping bodies up, leaving them in fields. They raping our women. That shit got to go. I ain't going to excuse my language, but that got to go.
What's been your favorite Doge cut so far?
My favorite Doge cut, it's hard to pick one, I guess, in particular. I think the entirety of USAID. You know, it's funny, the USAID began as, in essence, a CIA project to try to get the spread of communism to stop. And yet, since communism fell in Russia, it seems like it's more devoted to spreading socialist ideology in various parts of the world. The level of corruption and the amount of money the Democrat Party was, in essence, sending to their favorite people through government grants, through things like USAID, to various NGOs, non-governmental organizations, that serve their interests is shocking. They were basically getting around the limitations of what the federal government can do by just funding entities that do it for them.
And another big thing was Elon Musk. Now he's a head of Doge. Elon Musk used to be a Democrat. Now he's a Republican. Why do you think there's so much hatred towards Elon Musk?
Well, the sting of betrayal is the most sharp of all, isn't it? So I think for them, they love the fact that he was producing all these electric cars and all these other, hippy-dippy efficiency things. And yet, now that he's sort of woken up and seen the light, they hate him. But I think he's very emblematic of the evolution of politics in America now, where a lot of people who were extremely or somewhat liberal, even 10 years ago, are now very, very much not. It could have been Joe Rogan, it could have been Elon Musk, it could have been any number of people that have appeared with Trump, including, all those billionaires that they suddenly hate that showed up at inauguration. Well, guess what? Most of those are historic Democrats. Many of them were funding or supporting Trump being not reelected in 2020, like Jeff Bezos and the Washington Post, or Zuckerberg, who was banning right-wing content as most recently as 2021. And now suddenly they hate billionaires? Where's the hate for Soros? Where's the hate for all these billionaires that were on their team when they were on their team? Funny how that works.
And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and giving this video a like. This is Nick, and I will see you next video.